um, very difficult for him in the long run. I think he's gonna really. Now I can see a Gray's holding himself up, but let's look at yellow. He's yeah. So now he's got the boar. He's got some more sheep. So now he can sort of get back on his feet, but he's still very far behind. I think that he had an idle TC for quite a bit of time, so that's really unfortunate. And now uh, he's building a lot of fishing ships, I think, to compensate for this sort of late food gathering. So he needs to sort of compensate in some way. And but the question is that will that be enough? Because the other players obviously have had more efficient economies for a long time and will likely be outperforming yellow at this moment. And we can see also that coming feudal age, both green and uh, gray here, both Aztec players, they will be very close to each other. So I think it would be, considering how much they've invested in efficiency, both players here, there's going to be a rush war here, probably, to see who can sort of gain the advantage and keep the water here. So we can see that gray player is already up, and let's clicking up that is. It's not up yet, but and green here following right after. So it's not going to be too much of a difference, but then again, maybe green or gray is not aware of the other one's presence. Let's check. And green here, yeah, he doesn't know that gray is right around the corner here. And the same for gray. Well, gray probably has seen green, so he suspects at least that the green has to be in the area. But he doesn't seem too sure at the moment. And yeah, so now all players are going up except for yellow. What's yellow planning on doing? So he has the food, so he could go up, but maybe he wants to sort of be able to do a fast cast or something. Blue here walling in that gold, so I don't know if yellow has any more gold anywhere else close by, or if he has seen it. Let's check. So yeah, he has seen his gold, so he could take that for gold. The other gold he hasn't even seen, so he's very unlucky with his placement because it's sort of away from everything except wood, but that's not going to be enough in the long run, obviously. He needs something else. Um,
مستعدة.
this villager being
أمر.
chased around. So now he's clicking up to the feudal age, and he's going to be the last one. And I'm really interested to see what he's going to do because now we can see that, yeah, so he's going for the stone.
أمر.
I'm not sure if he's
مستعد.
going for
أهلا.
power rush or
حلو.
something, or stone walls, or whatever. Maybe he's planning to just sell the stone. Yeah, so you can see the goal, but he still decides to go for stone. Maybe because like it's closer to the TC. Need to build towers, walls, or just sell it on the market. So I would think that they would aim for a fast castle kind of build. So that might be why he chooses to go for the stone and just sell it with the market. You'll have to build it anyway. Okay, so gray here, 2 dots, feudal age. He'll probably go for galleons. Let's see. No. No. So, yeah, so he's at least he's walling up, so he sort of realized where green is. Green here putting up the blacksmith and go for the market soon. He could end up sort of walled inside here. It's not the worst position considering it has both gold and stone, but I think that the major issue is obviously the area he can sort of use to build on. He doesn't really have a lot of area, and a lot of it is sort of hilly, so he can't build a lot of buildings there. So, and even with the relic there, it's kind of annoying in the middle. So, at the moment, he's kind of out of room, and here we can see that he's building the market. Kind of hard to distinguish between green and gray here, but obviously this is green's villager, so he has sort of secured an area a little bit outside here. Actually, we can see so he's going to be able to use those villagers to not be trapped inside, and obviously Gray has to abandon his
But
wall in there. And now, with the market and the blacksmith, let's see how far away he is from Castle Age. Well, he's not too far away, but he still lacks quite a bit of food. It's going to be interesting to see if now uh, Gray here chose to do some galleys. He might take away the majority of food economy for Green here. He would really struggle to get the last 400 food he needs. I mean, obviously he has the spear here, so he can sort of rely on that for a little while, but that's not going to be enough in the long run. So he really should try to protect his fishing ships here. And we can see that it would be easy for him as long as Gray's not making any galleys to sort of um, take out Gray's um, economy instead. So it seems that he's going to try to sell food and stone and bike his way up, maybe. I don't know, he just sold a little bit of wood. I think that's not going to be enough. We can hear that Gray has been going into archers. And I think that's a really good decision here because a lot of Green's villagers are spread out all over the map and he doesn't even have a barracks. So he will struggle to either tower this or wall or build a defensive army. So this is going to be his main issue, I think. Well, let's check. So yellow here deciding to go for a barrack. I mean, sort of suspects, I suppose, that he's vulnerable to different sort of attacks. Yeah, he's putting up a tower and all that. It's kind of unfortunate though because he's sort of wasting all resources he should be saving up, but at the same time, everything would sort of collapse, I suppose, if he were to not uh, not to be so risky as to not do any defensive tactics there. Just putting up a watchtower there on the woodline of blue, I think is a good tower there. Unfortunately, blue, it's very easy for blue just to redistribute his villagers to the other lumber camp, so it's not going to have too much of an effect, but anyway, we can see that all blue is already up past Age. And I don't think there's, at least yellow, he's not anywhere close to Castle Age, and as for green, he's still struggling for the last 400 of food. And now he's going to have these archers too, so he seems to be walling off this part here to sort of secure those villages so he can at least have this part of the island. He could maybe wall it here and sort of have the rest of the island to himself, at least for the moment. I think it would be very bad for him to let those archers in around his gold and deer hunters. That would be really catastrophic for him. So, but let's see what he decides to do. He still hasn't built a barracks as far as I can see. So, he's still determined to go a fast castle build, but with this much pressure and considering that blue is already quite a bit on the way, it might be difficult. And now we can see that even Gray here, he has the resources to go up. So even with this good aggression with the archer, he will be able to click up before Green does here. So that's going to be very problematic in the long run, obviously, being this far behind. Yeah, so both the Polish players are already clicking up. None of the Norwegian ones are. And let's see here, yellow again. Yeah, so yellow has very few resources. He has quite a bit of wood, but I don't know if he wants to build farms or fishing ships or whatever. I think it's curious that none of the players has considered going for galleys. Um, they're just, I suppose, having this sort of deal that if I don't attack you, you won't attack me kind of idea, and that seems to have worked so far. So, but still, I think at least for the Polish team now, making a few fire ships when they reach Castle Age would be of a great importance to them. I'm just going to check the stream again a little bit to see if it's all working as it should. Yeah, so obviously the game runs horribly slow. I'm going to look into that, but if anyone has any tips on how to deal with it, then please let me know. Um, and okay, so back to the game. Gray Ray now pulling back his archers, he realizes that he either has to go maybe all the way around here, which he could do obviously. We can see that, yeah, so Green wants to wall a little bit here and that. Yeah, he actually would need to wall all of this as well, so it's going to be, I think, very difficult to be able to wall this, and especially with the archers going there. It could, I suppose, go around here. I don't know if yellow did wall this. No, so we can always go around and not be bothered putting up a tower there. It's a good tower. I don't think it's going to be it's going to be seen, and it's going to be very hard for him to finish it with only one villager. Some villager fighting going on there. Obviously, with the archers coming, it's going to be fairly easy. Oh, nice house. But now the villager will go down. This tower will not be built. So I mean, it's stalling at the moment, getting the barracks up, but he really needs to either be able to get some very efficient walls up, or to gather some army real quick, because right now I think Gray will just add more pressure coming into the cancellation. Obviously, even walls and towers won't be as effective anymore, and all that. Now we can see that blue having the villager on the right side of the wall means that all the walling from yellow here was for naught. It's not going to help him at all. And now he's even putting off the farms, and he's still not clicked up, so he's going to be very late. You see, he still is nowhere near getting the resources to get up. Okay, so it's even fishing the shortfish. That's very unfortunate. And now Blue's Knights are moving in. I don't know if he knows of these stone miners. There's only two of them, so it's not that big of a deal, but still, these three mines here are the only mines that yellow sort of can use. Apart from that, he doesn't really have access to any other mines, be it stone or gold, so he's fairly dependent on keeping those, and only one tower is not going to be enough, I'm afraid. And even with the feudal HTC fully operated knights, we'll just be able to stand there and raid, so he's gonna have to think of something smart real quick, I think. And yeah, so nice walling there. He gets the villager on the right side of the wall. And let's see what green and gray here is up to. So yeah, more walls, double archery range. So he's able to compete with gray now in production, even though he's obviously not starting with the same amount. So, but being this pressured, I think it's going to be very hard for him, and he needs to maybe abandon these villagers or something. Though. So he's probably going to get around the forest here and be able to wall off before the archers can get at him. But I think it's still, at this point with crossbow and all that, he either has to spend a lot of resources building houses and other buildings, or buildings using stone walls, or they will just bust through anytime now. So let's see, here's the crossbows, and they're putting on this house there. It's probably not going to take too long. Let's see, what is Gray doing to add pressure here? Yeah, so he's building this fire ship, and that's probably going to effectively put the fishing business out of business for Green here. So that's very, very unfortunate for Green, but obviously that's why Gray made the ship in the first place. In the north here, I still don't see anyone having built anything else. Yeah, so Blue also sent out a fire ship here, but the yellow fishing ships are still in the bay here, so they're sort of unnoticed, but I suppose he can just park his fire ships around the dock, and then at some point he will discover the rest of the fishing ships, and then it's pretty much GG. Yeah, so they're saying GG, calling this game, and that's 1-0 to the Polish team. I'm just going to take a quick break, a few minutes, and see if there's anything I can do regarding the stream quality, or at least the speed of which things